you guys watching from. Welcome to our channel. How are you guys doing? Should we use that our filter? I love that bubble filter. There's a vibe it gives. Let's see if that will work. Okay. So how you guys doing? Peter Obi is really dealing with them in the courts. He's not allowing them rest. Like the man, for the past 3 months since they went to the tribunal, Inec, who is supposed to be an umpire, who is supposed to stay neutral, Inec is not staying neutral. Peter Obi is giving them, like, how Peter Obi will ask them to bring okay, Inec, can you give us this material? Inec will refuse giving the material, and then they'll go on to the next they'll go on to the next material. Peter Obi will bring another exhibit to tender before the court, and the judges are like, then the Inec officers will be like, objection, my lord. And my lord is like, people cannot be objecting to the same documents you gave them. And when Peter Obi wrote that letter to them, that they need to give them documents for this certain number of states, he didn't spell out the 6 states they first tendered. So right now, as we speak, yesterday Peter Obi had, that his lawyers have brought before court the cases on the Amazon web engineer who discovered that there were no glitches on that day of election. And that Inec is afraid because they feel that, like, where this Garuba was saying that Peter Obi is going to do the same way what's that his name, Atiku did that time. Atiku just went to court and they kept toasting Atiku to and fro like that. And that most of Atiku's lawyers, they rely on Obi's lawyers to be able to get some of those things. Like when they push, to the extent that the INEC chairman said that Peter, what's that his name, Atiku's lawyers have not brought the money he asked for. But why should they pay to be given documents? Why do they need to pay to get documents from INEC? Was that election, I thought the federal government had paid for the conducting of that election, and the materials are supposed to be for the public use. Why do they need to, network, don't behave like this. Why do they need to pay to collect those materials? Fine. Rain. It's well, I think it's the rain that is making me not to, the network is kind of buffering. So Peter Obi is really, really on their neck. Seriously on their neck. Like, they can't even move. If they are trying to, they're thinking maybe Peter Obi will rely only on the IRF. Because now, and the funny thing, the other day, the court admitted in evidence those videos that the INEC chairman kept doing to create awareness for the voting, where he talked about that the results will be posted immediately the votes. So they admitted that in evidence, and Peter Obi is giving it to them, as in they are not even having breathing space in court. I wish they can even allow us to watch the court proceedings, as in we can watch it live. Nigerians will not even, that's real Netflix. What's going on in court is Netflix. Peter Obi is really not allowing them to breathe. They are having different meetings because, thank you guys for coming in. Sorry, I did not even greet. Thank you for coming. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being here. The network is bad because it's raining in Abuja right now. So that's why the network is bad. So Peter Obi is not allowing them to have breathing space at all. As they keep saying that, okay, they lied that there was network problem on the day of the election. And then the guy who works for Amazon is a web engineer. He said there were no glitches that day. And the court admitted him in evidence. So a lot is really happening in court. You can imagine that they try to ensure that they delay Peter Obi's proceedings, so that Peter Obi will when the time comes, he will not have time again to present his case. But that's why Peter Obi even said that people should not fight. Let's just calm down and see how he can present, that he's going to prove to them that he won the case. And that's the thing that is happening. They thought he will rely on only the IREF, but the guy is smarter than them. Peter Obi is somebody that knows his onions. When it comes to litigation, the man knows his onions, and he knows the kind of lawyers he's using. So I pity all the people that thought that this is going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual, because Peter Obi is ready for them. Like, the man is not even, the more they think he's calm, the more underground work he's doing. He's talking less and he's pulling the stunt. And then the INEC people are supposed, you see, if INEC chairman and his people had said they were not going to do anything, like they'll keep quiet and allow them to have the power tussle, like the APC versus the two other contending people, it would have been fair. But when INEC would not be arguing that no, that this man Tinubu won, you are not sure, guy. You do not allow them to finish collating the result before declaring the winner. So that's already against the Nigerian constitution. So a lot is happening in courts, and I know that Peter Obi is going to win this case. And that is, I think that the judges are more on trial. The judges are more on trial than the Tinubu and the INEC people. You know why? Because anything that happens now will determine if our judiciary is still working, or if our judiciary is still the hope of the common man. This is going to tell if our judiciary is the hope of the common man. So the judiciary is more on trial than the other people who are on trial right now. So that's it, basically. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for clicking in to watch. Some are just clicking and going. So I think the network was really very poor, but it's okay. So that's just what I have to tell you guys. I decided to come live. It's not going to be a long live. It's going to be a short one, but I just felt that instead of doing a full video, I should come out here and tell you guys what has been happening in court. Every time INEC lawyers are leaving the court, they are not happy. Every time Tinubu's lawyers are leaving the court, they are not happy. Have you noticed that Festus Keyamo is no longer shouting and making noise? Because he's saying that the case in court is already against them. And that is why, because of the kind of evidence Peter Obi is dishing out every day in court, the judges, you know, normally a judge is like a doctor. He's supposed to see and not react. But the judges in court, out of shock, when they see the evidence, they are like, what? Unconsciously, they are shocked. But that is it now. When you steal and steal and steal, there's somebody that you will not be able to steal from. And that's just who Peter Obi is. You cannot steal from Peter Obi. There's no how. Peter Obi is one person that if you steal from him, he will recover his mandate. He has done it before twice. He has gone to court twice and won those times. So Peter Obi is not new to the game. And that is why I said, let me come out here and encourage those of you who are already tired of this Peter Obi, that. As far as you are an obedient and you want our country to be good, just calm down and know that Peter Obi is winning this case. There's going to either be a re-election or they will declare Peter Obi winner. There are two things involved. Peter Obi is the rightful owner of this. And that is why, if you notice, those 6 states Peter Obi presented were states that Peter Obi did not spell out in his petition. He wrote an other states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So those INEC people went to the other states that Peter Obi wrote in the petition and sorted out some things. But God blinded them to most of those serious documents that they didn't see. But when they gave it to Peter Obi and his lawyers, they were able to fish out the errors and all that. You saw the mutilated result. Are you aware that over 2.5 million votes that Peter Obi won were not included? 2.5 million votes were not included in the final result sheet where the INEC chairman declared from. That's to show you how bad the level of impunity in Nigeria. And now the INEC chairman is asking for leave. He's going on leave as your president left to go for treatment, which he covered up to saying that he's going for a conference in France. The INEC chairman is leaving so that he will not be available for them to serve him his documents. They've asked him this, the they asked him to appear in court. He refused. He's been running away. So now he's going on leave. How do you go on leave when you are in court, Oga? Who does that? If not for a country where there's so much impunity, how do you go on leave when you know that you're supposed to appear in court? And you know the funny thing, you guys should remember when Emefiele was saying that Emefiele did not respect the court orders. Right now, Emefiele is saying that the DSS should respect court orders. You see, one bad thing about our elites, our political class is that they do not respect the rule of law while they are in government. But when the matter is, when the tables turn and it's them who are now the ones hurting, they'll now ask the people who are attacking them to respect rule of law. It's not done like that. If you're a person who respects the rule of law, it will be easy for people to respect the rule of law when it comes to your, because what you sow in this life, good or bad, you will reap. And that is why I tell people to be very careful with the kind of things they do. Because you might think that you do and get away with it. Don't you have children? If it doesn't rub up on you, what about your children? So good seeds, because they may turn out to hunt you. So that's the thing. It's just that I don't know why they refuse to allow you people to watch this thing. Lawyers who appear in court, if they tell you what is going on in the court right now, you open your mouth and stare. A lot is going on in court. They are not happy, and that's why we should pray for Peter Obi, that nothing should happen to him, because if they discover that they are failing, that's why if you see the likes of Festus Keyamo, the likes of Garba Shehu, they are no longer making noise, because they know that right now the case is against them in court. Seriously, for Inec to be objecting to materials that they gave to Peter Obi is not a thing of a surprise, and for the judges to be expressing so much shock that you mean this happened, then they are removing 2.5 million votes. And those 2.5 million votes are votes that Peter Obi won. Like areas where Peter Obi won, they hacked it out and then declared the election when people were sleeping. Have you noticed that your president right now, your president Tinubu, he announces removal of people only at night and announces the new ones at night? Because his own announcement was at night. What do people expect? So if you are a true obedient person, just calm down and know that no matter how much they try to twist this whole process, Obi is coming, and Obi will win this election. Obi is not somebody that makes noise. He's not a noise maker. So people should be patient with him. At the end of the day, he's going to win this election square, fair and square. The fair and square that they are saying that Tinubu won, we shall see it. Because there's no how, and that is why the judges are the ones who are more on trial right now. Because in the judiciary, you know how it's done. It is what you bring as evidence. That's what they look at. They don't care whether you are the president or anything. What the evidence? You say, okay, Peter Obi stole, right? Bring a proof to show that he stole. So guys, that's why I just thought to bring this to you, to let you know that today's court was hot. So just stay in and be praying for Peter Obi that for once, let us have somebody who is standing for the truth. People are saying we should forget about this thing. They have sworn in Tinubu already. We should just support him. Nobody is fighting Tinubu, but the truth must be told and the truth must be done. Let us do it, and let us stop impunity in this country, because we only cry for impunity when it has to do with us. But when it has to do with another man who is suffering the thing, you people don't see, the government don't see it as anything. So I pray that God will help Peter Obi to finish this whole thing in due course, and God will take the glory, and Peter Obi will be our president. Just watch out and see. Thank you guys for watching this video, and for those of you who clicked in to watch, God bless you. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and see you in our next one. Bye.